Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. So today we are talking about my September sewing plans, and I'm really excited to get my hands on these fabrics here and make some lovely garments with them. So these are just a few fall fabrics that I have in my collection. I have tons of fall fabrics. Fall is my favorite season to sew, and so I tend to gravitate towards these types of fabrics, these fall color fabrics, which I'm really excited about. So this piece here I purchased from Mood a few years ago. Now they do have a cotton sateen variation of this, as well as this beautiful voile here. And I've had the pleasure of making something with both the voile and the cotton sateen already. I love the fabric so much that I went ahead and purchased 2 more yards of this. So I want to make a beautiful top. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the first top that I want to make. This is by Tina's Closet, and I'll put the image here because it is a indie pattern, and so it is something that you can download. It's free of charge. It's a free pattern, and so I'm really excited about that. I went ahead and downloaded my copy. I'm thinking about using that for this, or there's a McCall's pattern that looks very similar to it, and again I'll put that right here so you can see what it looks like. And so that's what I'm thinking about doing with this piece here. Like I said, I have about 2 yards of this, and so I'm really excited. It's a voile fabric, and it's perfect for the weather because it's not we are transitioning into cooler weather here where I live at. However, it's still warm enough that I can definitely sew with voiles. And so I am excited to make something with this. And as I stated before, I did purchase the cotton sateen variation of this. It's very beautiful. That was a McCall's pattern. It actually is one of my TNT patterns, so it's my tried and true. I absolutely love that skirt pattern. I've made it several times. I haven't made it since I think 2000 and I want to say maybe 2019, 2020. However, it is a lovely pattern and I absolutely love it. And I kind of grew out of the top that I made with that. I didn't really grow out of it. It's just, it doesn't sit as comfortably as I like it. And so, I decided to go ahead and make a different top to go with that. So that's what I'm going to be doing with this piece here. And I'm going to go ahead and put some of these pieces to the side so you can see the patterns and the fabric combo next to one another here. So I'm going to go ahead and start with, let's start with these 2 pieces here. So for these 2 pieces, I want to make the Vogue V1890, and it is this beautiful drapey skirt that you get 2 different variations in one envelope. So you can make the knee length dress or the midi or longer dress here. It does have some pleats on the top there. I don't know if you can see here, but there are pleats on the side of the garment. You do have a fly front there that you are going to be using for a zipper, and it has belt loop carriers as well as pockets. And here is the line art here. Now this is an older Vogue pattern. It came out I think about a couple of years ago, and I've never gotten a chance to sew it, so I decided this would be a perfect fall skirt, and I want to make this, and I want to make a black variation and this beautiful tan and black spotted variation as well. So I think that that would be so gorgeous. Now I have 3 yards of fabric of this. This was purchased from Minerva, and it is a linen, kind of like a linen look. It's not 100% linen, it's viscose. And so it's a linen look fabric, and it's very drapey and very light in weight. And so it's perfect for the weather. And I purchased 3.5 meters of this, which is a little over 3.5 yards. And the pattern for the longer variation calls for 3.5 yards. And so if I have a little bit left over, I will definitely make like a halter top or something like that that I can layer with a button front top. So that is the plan for this fabric and this pattern. Now this linen here, this is a viscose linen that I purchased from Joann, and it's not one of their more expensive fabrics, and so it's kind of like a mid-quality type fabric. So I'm really nervous, but we'll see what it turns out to be. Black, as you know, goes with pretty much anything, and so I'm really, really excited to make these. And I also want to make a denim variation of this as well, because I have some chambray fabric that is really light in weight and would be really perfect for this. So I have these two here. Let me move this out of the way. So I have these two denim chambray type fabrics that I think would be perfect with this as well. And so I think, given that I'm trying to choose a variety of different fabrics, I think that that would help me get through the winter and the fall. So with the black variation, that can definitely carry me over into the early part of winter. And then also this denim, I think, would also make for a perfect winter dress as well. Even though it's really lightweight, it still has a little bit of weight to it. And I think it would be perfect, especially if I line my body with maybe some leggings or jeggings or whatever underneath. It would definitely carry me over into winter. So I really like the idea of doing these two, and I'm thinking I want to lean closer to the darker variation, because the darker tones I feel like would go more with a lot of the tops that I have in my wardrobe. And so anyway, that's what I'm thinking about doing with this pattern here. I want to make 3 skirts, 1 short skirt and 2 long skirts, and let's hope that I can get this done and it will turn out really good. Next, I want to make this top here, which is the Simplicity S9708. This is an easy to sew button front top, and I really want to use this fabric here with that. So I think that that would look so adorable with one another. I took a poll over on Instagram, and I polled the question if I should use this fabric for a tiered maxi dress, a top, a pair of Palooza pants, or I can't remember what the other question was, but a lot of people wanted me to use this for a tiered maxi dress. I was really, really surprised. I see a lot of tops in this zebra print, and I think it would look so gorgeous with one another. And I think I'm going to give it a try. I think I want to give this a try. Although I really do think that this would look good in the tiered maxi dress, I think I'm going to give this a try. And I think that this would look really well with this here with the black linen. I think the two would look so well with one another, especially for early late fall or early winter. I think it would be so cute together with one another. So I think that is going to be my plans for this piece here. Next, I want to make something with this gorgeous fabric, and I'm really excited to make something with this. It's such a gorgeous fabric. It is a navy blue fabric, and on the foreground you have these really bright mustard colored floral details, and it is so gorgeous. I purchased this from Minerva, and it is a viscose challis fabric, and as you can see, it has quite a bit of drape and movability. It is such a gorgeous, gorgeous fabric, and I'm hoping to make a top that would flow nicely away from the body. And so one of the tops I thought about is this butterick pattern here, which is the butterick B6769, and I thought about doing this variation here. Now I did a mock-up of this, and the mock-up that I did, I actually included a flounce around the neckline. So you all know one of my TNT patterns that is that has the silhouette is the Berta 6221, and I'll put an image here. And basically, I altered that flounce in that pattern and included it into this pattern just to see what it would look like with a different type sleeve. So even though the sleeves are quite similar, this sleeve is really lower. It hangs a little bit lower underneath the arm, closest to the breast, whereas with the Berta pattern, not only do you have darts on the side, but the sleeve comes up closer to the arm and rests right underneath the arm a little bit. And so I wanted something that had a little bit more room. And yes, I could have altered the Berta pattern and included those details, but I also wanted to see how the two patterns, how different they are from one another or how similar they are to one another. And just to be able to get a frame of reference for in the future, if I decide to make this, which one would I likely go with? And so far, I would have to say, even though I love the Berta 6221 and I talk about that pattern quite often on the channel, I really do like this one because it offers a little bit more room underneath the armhole there. And I really love the drape of it, and the sizing for what I can tell is true to size. I selected a size, I believe the medium, which is a 44 inches for the bust. And it's a pretty decent pattern here. Now, as you can see here, it does come a little low cut here. You can kind of see some of her cleavage on view A, just a tad. And so you may need to raise the neckline just a little bit if you don't want to show any cleavage. However, I do like this pattern so far. I have not tried this view here, view B, with the extension sleeve here, but I think that would also be really cute as well, especially if you're looking to go with like a really loose boho type style. I think this would be really fun as well. Something to slip on. And obviously the dress is really cute as well, but I haven't tried the dress. But again, this is definitely something that I'm looking to make. I don't know if I'm going to use this fabric or not, but I do think that it would be really nice to give it a go. Now, if I don't use this fabric here for this pattern, I'm thinking about using this fabric here, which is also a Minerva fabric. And these are fabrics that I actually purchased from Minerva. These aren't sponsored pieces. So I really, really love this fabric here. It is so gorgeous. It's called Pause and Play, and you can get this print in viscose challis. You can get it in a cotton sateen, and you can also get it in a linen fabric as well. And so I absolutely love this fabric. Now, I will tell you all, I'll give you a little bit of a spoiler. I can't really say too much, but I was able to get my hands on the cotton sateen of this. Now, the cotton sateen and the viscose, although they're very similar in color, it is a little bit different because the cotton sateen has a bit of a shine on it. It's going to look a little bit different than what you see here. Although the colors are quite similar, they're not exactly the same because of that cotton sateen. So you will be seeing me make multiple different garments with this type of fabric because I do have the cotton sateen version of this as well. But again, I'll talk to you later about that sometime next month, and you'll get to see the cotton sateen version. But for now, this is the rayon challis. I actually purchased this, and I am thinking about making a view A of this. Now, if I don't make that, I also really love the Mimi G pattern, the Simplicity 8655. I'll put a picture here, and I definitely want to make a few more tops for fall because it's that season where you are starting to layer, especially towards the end of fall. I find that around, I would say, the end of September and November is the time where the temperatures really drop here. And so I tend to need layers. And so that Mimi G pattern is the perfect layering piece for me. I love layering it with shirts or with turtlenecks or sweaters. If I don't use this fabric for this pattern, I'm definitely going to use this pattern this fall because I absolutely love it. I love it that much that I'm definitely going to make at least maybe 3 more versions of this for my fall fabrics. So that is definitely on my list for this fall as well. Another top pattern that I thought about for this is the Butterick B6684. And again, these are all patterns that they're still in print. However, they are a little older. And I'm trying to get out of my stash a lot of the older patterns that I once had a desire to sew, but is kind of like on the back burner. So I'm really trying to bring those patterns to the forefront and think about using those a little bit more. So as you would notice, view A here is very similar to the pattern that I showed you. So this pattern here, very similar to this pattern here, as well as the Berta 6221. Now, again, one of the reasons why I am sewing these is because I really want to know which one of these will offer the best fit for me and the best draping options and all of that stuff. So again, I did a mock-up of this. This one, I think I did a mock-up a few years ago, and I didn't quite like the armhole of view A because, again, it was a little bit higher. However, love that neckline. So if I were to make view A, I would definitely lower the armhole here, but I love the necktie option here. And again, I can definitely take this necktie and apply it to this pattern here and save myself the worry of doing the alterations of the underarm sleeve here area if I wanted to. However, really love this necktie detail, and I think that would be perfect for fall as well. It gives a really classic feminine look, but also you have you could do a dolman style, almost like a sleeveless option there, or you have these other variations here where you can do a sleeve with a ruffle or a little ruffle at the bottom, or you could do a sleeve that does not have a ruffle, or you can add a ruffle on your dolman sleeve as well. So you do have some options here, and I'm thinking about doing view C here. I might expand the pattern and include like gathers on the shoulder line there just to give more detail to the pattern. Now this one, again, it has bust darts here, whereas this one here, you don't get bust darts. This one offers, again, those bust darts, and so you will get somewhat a little bit more of a fit there, a better fit with your bust darts. So I am working on those 2 patterns, and I'm thinking about using this fabric here, or again, this lovely fabric here. Now, this lovely fabric, if I have enough of it, I would definitely love to make this here. Now, I don't have enough for the necktie for these fabrics, and so I would definitely have to do a contrast. So like maybe a navy rayon fabric for the contrast for the tie here, and for this one maybe a black navy sash. And I do have another fabric, it's pink, and again, this fabric here is so not a fall fabric to me. I think it's more for spring and maybe summer, whereas this is definitely like a fall vibe for me. But again, I have another fabric, and that fabric is pink, and so it's not as fall friendly either, but I'll share with you what that looks like as well. So it's this gorgeous pink fabric here that has dots on it. So it's pink and black. And I would definitely use this fabric to make this top here. And I have enough fabric here that I can actually make the sash out of the same top, but out of the same fabric. But if I want to get creative or do a contrast, I can definitely do a black sash for this as well. So these are all some plans that I have for these patterns here and these fabrics. Okay, so I want to talk about a couple of more patterns and fabrics here, and then I'll wrap up. So this pattern here, the Simplicity S9782, I know it doesn't look quite like much, but I'll share with you an inspiration picture here so you can see where I'm going with this. I would definitely like to put like maybe a few channels on the waistline and put some elastic in the waistline, which I think will be really cute. I saw this cute top on Shein, and I think it would be so great to recreate this. And I'm thinking about using this beautiful Chalet Voile fabric that I purchased from Fabric Mart last month. And I think it is so gorgeous. And I think I would definitely like to make a top with this. And if I don't use this fabric, because even though I absolutely think that this fabric and the top pattern would go well with one another, I have a lot of fabric here and I hate wasting fabric. And so I would hate to have like a piece of fabric left over that I don't know what I'm going to do with because I cut into the fabric. And so I do have enough here to make a dress with, and I'm really on the fence with this. I'm really, really on the fence because I think that the fabric and the pattern looks well together, but I also don't want to cut into the fabric and have fabric left over. So I'm really torn between that, and you all let me know in the comment section below if I should do that or not. I think I have 3.5 yards of this, and I would hate to have to cut into a fabric when I could have made a dress instead of making a top. So those are some thoughts, but I do have other fabrics in mind, and I'll give you an idea of fabrics that I have that is around that 2-yard mark that would probably be really good for this pattern. These are the 2-yard fabrics here, and I was thinking about using this pattern here for one of these tops, but I also want to make, let's see, the Simplicity S9649, I believe is 9649 or 4969 or something like that. I will put the top pattern here. I made this top pattern last year, and it is one of my favorite top patterns. When I tell you that is one of my favorite top patterns, it is one of my favorite. And I know Alex from A Mason Lifestyle, she loves that top as well. I see her making it quite often. I think recently she just made another variation this past summer, and she also has a sew along on her channel of this top pattern as well. I'm telling you guys, it's a really great top pattern, this Simplicity pattern here. So I want to possibly make a pattern with one of these here. Then whatever one I decide to make with the other Simplicity pattern, I would use whichever one I don't use for that pattern, for this pattern. So I absolutely love that idea as well. I also thought about going back to this pattern here, the Butterick B6684. Again, really trying to sew some of these patterns in my stash that I have not sewn yet, or that I have not presented on the channel yet. So I really think this also would be really cute, particularly in this green and black variation here. I think those two would look amazing. Like, look at that. Like with a really nice sash, I think that would be so cute as well. You all let me know in the comment section below. I'm really torn between this Butterick B6684, the Simplicity pattern, or this pattern here. So I'm really torn between those 3 patterns on what tops to make. I've been really making a lot of tops lately, and so I'm really excited to get all these tops done. so I can add to the collection of tops that I've already been making. So yeah, so that's what I'm thinking about for those. My dress patterns, I've been so disappointed that I have not made a lot from my dress pattern list this year. So if you all remember, in the beginning of the year, I posted a video, dresses I want to make for 2023. I'll put an iCard here so you can see what that video is like. That was actually a really popular video. It's one of my most popular videos of this year, and people really like to, I guess, look at dress patterns and things of that nature. It just did really well, but I really want to make some dresses off of that list, and I just haven't, turned my attention to the dress patterns on that list. I don't know why. I know the summer kind of got away from me with traveling and visiting family and, doing a lot of things. I just did not get to revisit that list the way that I wanted to. But there are some dress patterns on there that I definitely want to sew before the end of this year. Really hoping to get the dresses on that list done, at least, maybe 3 or 4 dress patterns on that list. I think I've sewn about 2 or 3 off that list so far. So I really want to revisit that list and make some dresses off of that list. And I'll probably do that more towards the end of fall and the early part of winter. I'll get some of my dresses in. Lastly, I want to make something with this gorgeous rayon slubbed fabric. So this does have some stretch on the cross grain with this fabric, but it is such a lovely fabric. I purchased this from Minerva, and it's a gorgeous fabric, and it's very, very fall friendly. Those colors are just beautiful and scream fall to me. Now, I wanted to make the Vogue V 1937, which is this pattern here, and it's this dress pattern that is really gorgeous. It flows away from the body, and it's supposed to be really easy. It has a couple of pieces. You have your front, your back, you have pockets, you have a sleeve band, and then you have your neck collar there that basically the collar is just for the back and part of the front. It doesn't extend down the neckline there. And I thought it was just a really nice, simple dress pattern for Vogue, which I think is really fun. It calls for fabrics such as heavyweight rayon crepes, 3 or 4 ply silk, drapey knits, those types of fabrics. And since this does have some knit stretch on the cross grain, I thought this would be perfect for it. Now, it is a woven, but it has a little bit of stretch on the cross grain, which I thought would be really nice. And since it flows away from the body, honestly, I don't think I would need that much of a knit for this project. Those are some of my plans for September. You let me know what your plans are in the comment section below. If you plan to sew any of these patterns, or if you had an opportunity to buy any of the fabrics, and if you did, if you like the fabrics. So I'm really excited to get into sewing for the fall. Fall is my favorite, and so I'm really, really excited to pull out these fall fabrics. And please don't hold me to a lot of these plans, because sometimes they change mid-month depending on what new patterns come out. And so I do know that the Nomi patterns are about to release. I saw a few of the Nomi designers drop their patterns on they did like sneak peeks on their Instagram account. So those patterns are due to drop pretty soon. As you know, Vogue and Simplicity already dropped theirs. If you want to see my thoughts videos on that, make sure you click the link in the description box below or check the iCard above. And thank you all for tuning in today. I hope you all have a blessed and happy sewing week, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Bye.